It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the NFC East. It's the Giants and the football team, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. Charles, so often it's the quarterbacks that are in the spotlight, and in this game, no different. We have a very compelling matchup. Daniel Jones of the Giants, Ryan Fitzpatrick of Washington.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise, and that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
Has it on the tee, and here we go from our nation's capital. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. The Giants ready to go to work on offense, and leading them out, their third-year quarterback from Duke, Daniel Jones.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Here's Jones throwing on first down. And right away he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Washington offense about ready to go to work, and at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after him big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players in one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it?
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson taking it in from 4 yards out. And Washington has taken a first quarter lead. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. Barkley hit and the ball pops free. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2.
Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's second down.
They'll try to run with Gibson.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson
with his second touchdown in this opening quarter.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And now here's Ross.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Possession of the football going back over to the Giants.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Running again with Barkley on second down.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, Sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. Well, not many folks would jump straight to Ryan Fitzpatrick when you talk about strong-arm quarterbacks, but if he's lasted this long, and he has, he's got to be doing something right.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
And to put a bow on it, next-gen stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Fitzpatrick. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Giants going to take over again on offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley dancing away at the 35. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Now Jones on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. Flush to his right. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. This is Shepard on the catch. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Looking to throw. Jones. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd down and goal. Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal.
From the gun, Jones. Touchdown! Kenny Galladay on the touchdown throw from Daniel Jones. And the Giants are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point try, good by Gano. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And here comes Danny Johnson now from his end zone.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
First down, Fitzpatrick.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
The Giants now going to take over late in this first half.
It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Jones on 1st and 10.
Escaping the pressure, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Daniel Jones taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Giants get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. CD, for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And here comes Danny Johnson now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
So we've reached halftime here at our nation's capital with the Washington football team on top.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It was a terrific first half for the veteran quarterback. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for the Giants. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half.
And here comes Danny Johnson now from his end zone. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. It's a first down and more for Gibson.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
No gain on the play there, second down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and
2. They'll run with Gibson.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, Gibson. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 19-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here's Gibson. Blake Martinez, the Giants' leading tackler last year, in to make the stop there.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's 3rd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight.
Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas there to make the grab. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Hopkins with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. On 2nd and 9, Jones. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. And that'll make it 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, no, he lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
The 20, 10, and he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Let's go!
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Jones now. Throwing on first down. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. From the 45 on second down, Jones, throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Fitzpatrick giving to Gibson on the draw. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. On 2nd and 2, Fitzpatrick. Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Into the hands of Ingram. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this defense will take over right at midfield. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. They go back to the ground. This time, Barber. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 103 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the 4th quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.